My name is David Civitolo, and I am an Ohio State University Field Specialist for Community Economics. I appreciate you joining me for this short program in which I will summarize Fact Sheet 3 of the Shale Energy Development Impact Analysis Fact Sheet series titled Contributing Factors to a Boomtown Bust. As mentioned, this is the third of a fact sheet series titled Contributing Factors to a Boomtown Bust. The objectives of this presentation is to provide an introduction and overview of the project, a brief review of what a boomtown gone bust is, describe what a resource curse is, the reasons a resource curse develops, and to provide a summary and additional resources. This fact sheet series is based upon work from the project titled Maximizing the Gains of Old and New Energy Development for America's Rural Communities. Our project team includes faculty members from various departments within Ohio State University's College of Food, Agriculture, and Environmental Sciences, including the Department of Agriculture, Environment and Development Economics, Department of Extension, and the School of Environmental and Natural Resources. This team brings a diverse mix of research, outreach, and education to the project. The overriding goal of this project is to assess how energy development affects local job creation and general community economic well-being, and in turn, the manner by which communities can reap positive, long-term, sustainable benefits from energy development. In 2008, the southeastern part of Ohio began to experience an increase in oil and gas exploration. During this time, oil prices were still roughly $100 per barrel, and technological gains provided energy companies the ability and motivation to access the hydrocarbon resources in the Utica Shale formation. This development has created an economic boom for local governments, landowners, and individuals looking for employment. Not only did local governments experience dramatic increases in sales tax receipts, landowners leased or sold their mineral rights, and local residents looking for work had the opportunity to be trained for a career in the energy industry or supporting service sectors. Typically, the bust of an economy occurs when volatile energy prices weaken or the natural resource is depleted, leaving the community to deal with the after effects. For example, early in 2016, when the cost of oil dropped to around $30 per barrel, energy companies reduced production or in some cases discontinued production altogether, leaving less revenue for local governments and fewer jobs for local residents. This phenomenon is often referred to as the resource curse and provides the catalyst for a boomtown bust. While an abundance of a natural resource, such as oil and gas, should enhance economic activity and reduce poverty, it has, in some instances, increased poverty, weakened local government, and undermined sustainable economic development. This situation is often referred to as the resource curse. According to Svetkova and Partridge, the energy resource curse can be defined as the possibly counterintuitive occurrence of a slow, long-term economic growth in regions rich in natural resources. The cause and effect of the natural resource curse has been studied frequently within the context of national and international perspectives. However, less research has been done to assess the potential of the natural resource curse at the local level. While there is less precedent to examine the resource curse potential at the local level, there are a number of lessons learned at the international and national levels that should be considered. The researchers noted 5 common lessons learned from analyzing the natural resource curse. The first 3 are: lack of new business investment outside of the direct industries affected in the region as a result of diminished workforce availability and increasing property values and rates. The second one is existing businesses struggle to expand due to competition for a workforce that is both available and adequately trained. Third, the lack of innovation, venture capital investments, and small business development. Community infrastructure project decisions that are dependent on an energy sector tax base can threaten the community in the long term during energy busts. And last, policy strategies to reinvest revenue from energy sector development is essential to a local government's ability to avoid the bust. Communities that are heavily reliant on industries in the natural resources sector are susceptible to the natural resource curse, which can, in the long term, negatively influence the local economy, social dynamics, and environment. There are a number of key reasons for a situation to develop that impacts local residents, community organizations, the local community itself, and the natural environment. For individuals, specific impacts of the resource curse can influence them in a number of ways. According to Kelsey, Partridge, and White, in the initial stages of the energy boom, workers move in, wages rise for the affected workers, and the landowners receive lease and then royalty payments. During the initial boom cycle, there are employment opportunities for local residents as well as for migrant workers from outside the region. Migrant workers earning pay may send some of their income home, therefore not benefiting the local community. The workers are attracted to these types of jobs in the energy sector because they are abundant, high-paying, and require little training. After the boom, trained industry workers are more likely to leave and follow the industry when it moves on to new drilling opportunities. Kelsey et al. Found that nearly 2/3 of the influx of workers into the Pennsylvania Marcellus Shale play were from out of state. Furthermore, due to the abundance of high-paying jobs, individuals are less likely to invest in higher education and additional training, and instead enter the energy sector workforce. Over time, this will result in a workforce that lacks the innovation and drive for new business startups, which becomes problematic when the boom ends. Impacts of the research curse influence organizations and businesses as well. Energy development can be limited to new investment, local expansion, and new business startups in other areas of the economy, leading to an under-diversified, specialized economy. In addition, over-concentration in the energy area is not conducive for growth in other job sectors. Non-energy employers will be reluctant to invest in this geographic area because of the lack of diversity in the workforce skills. Finally, over-concentration in the energy sector will crowd out other sectors due to increased land and labor costs during boom periods. Employers would rather look elsewhere for land and labor at reasonable cost. Lack of economic diversity due to an over-concentration in any sector, including energy, is not conducive. Specific impacts of the resource curse influence community and government in a number of ways. A bus town places great demand for the local government services that are often unattainable. While the initial stage of residents and the need for new roads and other supporting infrastructure can lead to a growth in government expenditures, as the boom dissipates, the real fiscal stress begins. Local governments will still need to maintain the new infrastructure, but they end up with fewer residents and businesses to pay for it. Local governments may also have some additional social expenditures as the energy sector economy slows. Emergency services, for example, may be expanded with additional employees, but they may not be needed as the bust sets in. Not only does the tax base of the local government dwindle as the number of residents falls, but those who remain may not be able to pay the taxes necessary to meet the revenue requirements necessary to support the new infrastructure. Another contributing factor for the resource curse is environmental degradation. When dealing with the extraction of natural resources, damages to the environment could occur. Kelsey et al. Indicate that natural resources extraction could cause water pollution, air pollution, or traffic congestion. Additionally, ecosystem changes could also adversely affect the environment. They note in certain places, unconventional drilling is also associated with some small earthquake activity. Negative environmental issues could affect people's attitudes towards the community, impacting on important amenities which attracts new residents and economic activity. In general, over-reliance on any one economic sector can position a local economy to struggle in the long run. Past evidence indicates this is very much the case with the energy sector. The resource curse occurs in areas or regions that are known to have an abundance of energy resources. While short-term gains in government revenue and unemployment opportunities result from the energy boom, potential long-term negative consequences could occur. If communities are fortunate enough to have an abundance of energy resources, they must proactively plan to avoid or limit the economic bust that often occurs. Diversifying their economic profile and strategically enhancing their community capital such as human, built, and natural environment is of critical importance. While not all communities react the same way to an energy economic shock, history teaches us that with every economic boom, there is a potential for an economic bust. However, communities that prepare for the economic downturn will be better able to equip themselves when the bust arrives. Also, if and when the bust returns, they will be better equipped to take advantage of increased economic activity. This presentation is based upon work from the project titled Maximizing the Gains of Old and New Energy Development for America's Rural Communities at The Ohio State University College of Food, Agricultural, and Environmental Sciences. On behalf of the team, we acknowledge and appreciate the support of the USDA NIFA Agricultural and Food Research Initiative program. Thank you for joining in on this short presentation. To access the Shale Energy Development Economic Impact Analysis Fact Sheet series in its entirety and for additional Shale Energy Economic Analysis reports, I encourage you to visit go.osu.edu/energyecon. Thank you.